Today, we're diving into an extremely important topic, especially for those who are over the age of 50 or are caring for their elderly loved ones. This subject doesn't just concern health, it can deeply affect the quality of life for you and your family. The topic is sugar, the silent killer of old age. Sounds a bit dramatic, doesn't it? But I believe that after watching this video, you'll see sugar, the thing we often call sweet, in a completely different light. Just imagine this. There's a kind of legal drug silently destroying the bodies of millions of people, especially the elderly, every single day. It's not cigarettes. It's not alcohol. It's sugar. That's right, sugar. The kind you find in your morning milk coffee, the soda you drink at lunch, or the sweet pastry you enjoy with your afternoon tea. It's sweet, it's familiar, it makes you feel happy and relaxed. But behind that sweetness lies a deadly threat, especially as you're no longer as young as you once were. Why is sugar called the silent killer? Because there are no obvious early symptoms. People often find out only when complications arise. The disease progresses silently but wreaks havoc on multiple organs. Many elderly people die from complications of diabetes that were never diagnosed in time. Let me give you a few numbers that might shock you. Drinking just 1 can of soda per day increases the risk of stroke by 30% for those over 60. Sugar doesn't just make you gain weight, it weakens your memory, causes heart issues, and accelerates aging up to twice as fast compared to those who limit their sugar intake. Sugar doesn't kill you instantly like a storm. It's more like a silent assassin, sneaking into your body and slowly destroying it day by day, month by month, year by year. And the scariest part, most of us don't realize we're addicted to it, until our body starts crying out through symptoms and illness. In today's video, we're going to uncover the truth about sugar. Why is it so dangerous for older adults? And more importantly, what can we do to control it, to live longer, stay healthier, and feel happier every single day? If you're ready, hit like and subscribe to the channel to get started. Make sure to watch the entire video, because at the end, I'll guide you through some super easy but highly effective steps to start making a change, right from today. Why is sugar so dangerous as you age? Before we get into the details, I want you to understand one basic thing. Sugar is not always the enemy. When you're young, your body works like a well-oiled machine. You eat a candy bar or drink bubble tea, and your body quickly burns off that sugar and turns it into energy. But once you cross 50, everything changes. Your body is no longer as youthful, and sugar starts turning into a serious threat. Let's break down the reasons why. Slower metabolism. As you age, your metabolism slows down significantly. That means the sugar you consume doesn't get burned off quickly anymore. Instead, it turns into fat, especially visceral fat, the dangerous type that builds up around your heart, liver, and other vital organs. Weakened insulin response. Insulin is the hormone that helps your body use sugar for energy. But after 50, your body's ability to produce and respond to insulin decreases, which dramatically increases your risk of developing type 2 diabetes. Even a small amount of excess sugar can disrupt your blood sugar levels and cause serious consequences. Organs become more sensitive to sugar. At this age, your blood vessels, heart, brain, and kidneys become more fragile. Excess sugar can cause inflammation, damage tiny blood vessels, and lead to long-term issues like high blood pressure, stroke, or kidney failure. And here's the biggest problem. Most of us don't even know we're consuming too much sugar. You might think you're only eating a little piece of cake, drinking a glass of juice, or adding a bit of sugar to your coffee. But in reality, the amount of sugar you're taking in each day could be double or even triple the doctor-recommended level. So where is all this sugar coming from? And how dangerous is it, really? Let's jump into the main part of today's content to uncover the shocking truth about sugar and its hidden danger for older adults. When we think of sugar, many people immediately imagine sweet treats like candy, pastries, or a creamy cup of coffee. But the truth is, sugar doesn't just show up in those obviously sweet foods you can recognize. It hides in many everyday foods and drinks you consume, sometimes even in things you think are healthy. Let me give you a few examples. Soft drinks, condensed milk, bottled fruit juice. A 330 milliliters can of soda contains around 35 to 40 grams of sugar, which is equivalent to 10 teaspoons. You think bottled fruit juice is a healthy option? That's a mistake. Many commercial fruit juices contain as much or even more sugar than soda. Condensed milk is also a major culprit, especially when used in coffee or tea. Instant noodles, sausages, canned fish, white bread. Don't be surprised. These processed foods often have added sugar to enhance flavor, improve texture, and increase shelf life. A single pack of instant noodles can contain 5 to 7 grams of sugar, not to mention side dishes like sausages or dipping sauces. Everyday dishes also use sugar. Sugar is a common ingredient in many meals. Breakfast cereals, yogurt, savory dishes with hidden sugar, and even stir-fried foods are often sweetened to enhance taste. These small amounts may seem harmless, but when combined, they add up to an alarming total. According to the World Health Organization (WHO), an adult should limit daily sugar intake to 25 grams, about 6 teaspoons. But in reality, the average older adult in the U.S. may consume 30 to 40 grams of sugar daily, or even more during holidays, big meals, or just an afternoon craving for coffee and cake. And the worrying part is, we often don't realize how much sugar we're consuming, until our body begins to sound the alarm. 5 serious harms of sugar after age 50. Now let's dive into the specific harmful effects of sugar on older adults. These are not vague warnings. They're all backed by reliable scientific research from leading health organizations. After the age of 50, sugar can cause the following 5 serious effects. 1. Increases visceral fat, the dangerous kind. Visceral fat is not the fat under your skin that you can see on your belly or thighs. It's the hidden fat deep inside your body, clinging to vital organs like your heart, liver, kidneys, and pancreas. When you consume too much sugar, your body converts it into fat, and visceral fat is where it starts to accumulate. This type of fat is especially dangerous because it raises the risk of stroke, heart attack, fatty liver disease, and even liver cancer. A study in the U.S. showed that people over 50 with high visceral fat are 3 times more likely to suffer from cardiovascular diseases compared to those who manage their sugar intake. 2. Causes insulin resistance, the path to diabetes. When you eat sugar, your body produces insulin to turn it into energy or store it. But if you consume too much sugar over time, your cells become insulin resistant, meaning insulin no longer works effectively. As a result, blood sugar levels rise, leading to prediabetes and eventually type 2 diabetes. In the U.S., diabetes is one of the most common diseases among older adults. Nearly 38 million Americans have diabetes, about 11.6% of the population, and sugar is one of the main causes. 3. Accelerates aging, destroys collagen, causes wrinkles and blurry vision. Did you know that sugar is your skin's #1 enemy? Sugar triggers a process called glycation, where it binds to collagen and elastin, the 2 proteins that keep your skin firm and elastic. When collagen is damaged, your skin wrinkles faster, develops dark spots, and loses its healthy glow. But that's not all. Sugar also damages the small blood vessels in your eyes, leading to blurred vision and eye diseases like cataracts. It also increases oxidative stress, speeding up aging throughout the body and making you look older than your real age. Harms the brain, memory loss, higher Alzheimer's risk. This is one of the scariest effects of sugar. Sugar causes chronic inflammation in the body, especially in the brain. Chronic inflammation damages nerve cells, leading to memory loss, poor concentration, and an increased risk of Alzheimer's disease. A study published in the journal Neurology showed that people over 60 who consume high amounts of sugar have a 30% higher risk of neurological disorders compared to those with low sugar intake. This is especially alarming because Alzheimer's is becoming a global epidemic among the elderly. 5. Weakens the immune system, more illness, slower recovery. After age 50, your immune system naturally weakens due to aging. Sugar makes things worse by reducing the effectiveness of immune cells in fighting off bacteria and viruses. As a result, you're more prone to colds, infections, and especially slower recovery after illness. A study from Yale University found that consuming too much sugar can lower immune function by up to 50% for several hours after eating. Here's a frightening number. According to research from Harvard University, people over 60 who consume a lot of sugar have double the risk of early death compared to those who manage their sugar intake well. See? Sugar is not just about weight or appearance. It's about life and survival. Have you ever asked yourself, why do I know sugar is bad, yet still can't stop eating sweets? That's because sugar acts like a natural drug. When you eat sugar, your brain releases dopamine, a neurotransmitter that creates feelings of pleasure and happiness. This feeling makes you want to eat more and more, creating a vicious cycle with no escape. That's exactly why you can finish an entire chocolate bar and still not feel satisfied. Especially in older adults, the sense of taste begins to fade. You can no longer taste sweetness as clearly as before, so you tend to eat more sugary foods to satisfy the craving. For example, a 60-year-old may think their coffee tastes too bland, so they add more sugar without realizing it. This leads to a significant increase in sugar intake, without them even knowing. Let me share a real-life story. My grandmother is 68 years old, and she has a habit of drinking sweet milk tea every day. At first, she thought it was just a little pleasure that made her feel happier. But gradually, she began to complain of fatigue and forgetfulness, and the doctor diagnosed her with prediabetes. That was when our whole family realized, sugar is not just a harmless indulgence. It's a real threat if left uncontrolled. Alright, talking about sugar's harms can be overwhelming. But don't worry, I'm not here to scare you without giving you solutions. Below are 5 practical steps for older adults to control their sugar intake and live healthier, longer lives. 1. Recognize different types of sugar. Sugar isn't just the white table sugar you see in the kitchen. On food labels, sugar can appear under many different names. Glucose, fructose, sucrose, maltose, high fructose corn syrup, or even organic cane sugar. Don't be fooled by fancy names. They're all sugar, and all can be harmful if consumed in excess. Start reading labels carefully to identify these hidden enemies. 2. Reduce sugar gradually. Don't cut it off abruptly. If you or a loved one are used to consuming a lot of sweets, quitting sugar suddenly can be tough and cause frustration. Instead, take it step by step. Reduce sugar intake by 20 to 30% each week. For example, if you usually add 2 teaspoons of sugar to your coffee, try cutting it down to 1.5 teaspoons, then to 1 teaspoon after a few weeks. Swap sweets like candy and cake with low-sugar fruits like guava, grapefruit, green apples, or strawberries. These fruits are not only lower in sugar but also rich in fiber, helping you feel full and aiding digestion. 3. Practice reading nutrition labels. Get into the habit of checking the nutrition facts on packaged foods. A quick tip: choose products with less than 5 g of sugar per serving. For example, if a yogurt container has 15 g of sugar per 100 g, consider switching to sugar-free options or make your own yogurt at home with fresh fruits. 4. Prioritize natural sweetness. Instead of relying on refined sugar, use the natural sweetness of vegetables like pumpkin, carrots, or sweet potatoes. These foods not only contain less sugar, but are also packed with nutrients that help your body stay strong and healthy. If you crave something sweet, choose whole fresh fruit instead of bottled juices or sugary snacks. 5. Use safe sweeteners. If you really need a little sweetness, try natural, safe sweeteners like stevia or erythritol. These don't raise your blood sugar and are recommended by doctors for older adults, especially those at risk for diabetes. However, use them in moderation. Overusing any sweetener isn't good for your health. Dear friends, we've taken a long journey together to better understand sugar, the silent killer of old age. Remember this. After 50, your body is no longer as forgiving with sugar as it once was. This isn't just about weight or appearance, it's about your heart, brain, memory, and lifespan. Start making changes today. Cut out sugary drinks. Replace them with water, herbal tea, or fresh fruit juice with no added sugar. Say no to packaged sweets. Opt for fresh fruits or home-cooked meals. And most importantly, learn to appreciate simplicity, because good health is the sweetest gift of all. In the next episode, we'll explore a very interesting topic. Which fruits are good, and which should be avoided, for people over 60? You'll be surprised to learn that not all fruits are as healthy as you might think. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you won't miss any future episodes. And please, share this video with your loved ones, your parents, your grandparents, so they too can learn how to protect their health. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next episode.